Hello kids, welcome to science class. In today's class, we are going to discuss the chapter solids, liquids and gases. Yes, lesson number 4, solids, liquids and gases. Children, we have already learnt about solids, liquids and gases in our class 3, right? Yes. Today we will learn the same lesson in detail with advanced features. That is arrangement of molecules in matter, solids, liquids and gases in water, change of state and physical chemical changes of different matters. These are all the learning points that we are going to discuss today. Okay children, then let us start our today's class. Children, as you know, we are surrounded by a number of things, right? Yes, some of them are solid, some of them are liquid, and some are in the form of gases, right? Yes, then can you tell me what do you mean by matter? Yes, as you know, anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. For example, your pencils, books are all matter because it has some amount of mass, and when we keep those things on table or anywhere it occupies some space, right? Yes, those are all called as matter. Then these matters can be classified into solids, liquids, solids, liquids and gases. Now children, do you know how these matters are made up of? Yes. These matters are made up of tiny particles called as molecules. Yes, matter is made up of tiny particles called as molecules. And children, these molecules cannot be seen with our naked eyes because these are the tiny particles are in very smaller size. So without using any instruments such that microscope, we cannot able to see the molecules. And also we have to know that how these molecules are arranged in different substance. Because as you can see this picture here, the molecules of the different states of matter arranged in different forms, right? Yes. So let us see how the arrangement of molecules are there in different matters. That is in the case of solids, liquids and gases. Firstly, we'll see how particles are arranged in solid. Yes. Children, as you look at this picture, in solids all the molecules or particles are tightly packed and so they cannot move away from each other, which means there is no intermolecular space between the molecules. If you see here, the space between the molecules are very less present between them. Yes, this is why solids have definite shape and volume. For example, if you consider a brick as a solid, it has a specific shape, right? As it is in the shape of cuboid. And also, it has a specific volume, which means it occupies some space. So, all the solids will have a definite shape and it occupies space. S. In solids, molecules are tightly packed and so cannot move away from each other. This is why solids generally have a fixed shape. Now children, let us see how the particles are arranged in liquid. Yes, packed as in solids. so they can move and slide over each other. Means the force of attraction between the molecules is less as compared to that of solids, and there is intermolecular space between the particles so that they can move freely. This makes liquids to flow. Yes, also you have to know that liquids do not have definite volume, but it has definite shape. Like it takes the shape of the container they poured into. For example, here you can see the liquid takes the shape of the container in which it was poured, right? So we can say liquid has no shape of its own. It always occupies the shape of the container. S. We'll see how the particles are arranged in gases. S. In gases, all the particles are with large intermolecular spaces between them, so they can move freely in all the directions like upward, downward, sideways too. That is why we say that gas spreads. And like liquids, gas has no shape. It takes the shape of container. And also it do not have a definite shape and volume. For example, you can see here, as gas filled in balloons and in the tubes, it occupies that balloon shape or tube shape, right? Yes, that's why we say gases do not have a definite shape. Yes, students, these are all about how the particles are arranged in different matters such that solids, liquids and gases. Now let us move to the next concept, that is solids, liquids and gases in water. What does it mean? Here we are going to learn how solids, liquids and gases are dissolved in water. Firstly, we'll see how solids dissolve in water. For example, some solids like salt and sugar are soluble in water, right? You have seen that, where the molecules of salt or sugar spread themselves between the molecules of the water. That's why the solids can dissolve in water. This is the best example. Now we'll see how liquids dissolve in water. You have seen some liquids like milk, glycerin and lemon juice also dissolves in water, right? Yes, the liquids that mix with each other are called as miscible liquids, which means when two liquids mix together such that they dissolve completely in each other, they are called as miscible liquids. For example, here you can see when milk is mixed with water, they dissolve completely. Similarly, when lemon juice is mixed with water, they dissolve completely. Right? Yes. However, when two liquids mix together such that they do not dissolve completely in each other, they are called as immiscible liquids. The two liquids that do not mix with each other are called as immiscible liquids. Children, can you give me an example for this? Yes. The best example is liquid is mixed in water, it does not dissolve. Where you can see oil and water makes a separate layers within the container, right? The top layer is oil and the bottom layer is water. They have made a separate layers. They never ever mix together. These kind of liquids are called as immiscible liquids. Now we'll see how gases dissolve in water. Some gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen can dissolve in water, so that aquatic animals can breathe in by using the oxygen dissolved in. Also, children, you can see in soft drinks, carbon dioxide is dissolved to make them fizzy, which means you have seen that a small air bubbles within the drinks, within those soft drinks, right? Yes, those are all nothing but gases that is filled in a soft drinks. Also, when we boil water, small bubbles of air are seen on the inner side of the container. These bubbles are of dissolved gases that separate from water on heating. Yes. Children, these are all about how solids, liquids and gases dissolve in water. Now let us move to the next concept, that is change of matter or change of state. What does it mean? As a matter can change from one state to another state on heating or cooling. This is known as change of matter or a state. Yes, children, here state in the sense there are three states of matter, right? Solid, liquid and gases. Yes, change of state is nothing but where you can see a solid state can be changed into liquid state, or liquid state can be changed into gas state, or gas state can be changed into solid state. This is how changes of state can be happen. Now we'll see the first change of state. Melting. What do you mean by melting? The process of changing a solid into a liquid on heating is known as melting. For an example, when ice is kept out of a refrigerator, it melts into water. Right? As here, ice cubes are in solid forms and here water is in the form of liquid. As when an ice cube taken out of the refrigerator, it melts gradually. This process is known as melting. Here, due to the atmospheric temperature, that is in the form of heat, ice cube starts to melt and it changes from its solid state to liquid state as a water. This is the example for melting. Now we'll see the next change of state, that is evaporation. What do you mean by evaporation? The process of changing a liquid into a gas on heating. As when water gets heated, water changes into water vapor, which is its gaseous form. Right? Here water in the form of liquid and water vapor in the form of gaseous state. So this is how a liquid state changes into gaseous state on heating. Now let's see another change of state, that is condensation. The process of changing a gas into a liquid on cooling. As this process is known, now we'll see an example. When the steam touches a cold surface, it changes into water. As in previous case, we had seen a liquid changes into gases as a water vapor, right? As when we make the same water paper to touches the cold surface, it changes into water. This process is known as condensation. Now let us see the next change of state, that is freezing. The process of changing a liquid into a solid on cooling is known as freezing. As when water is kept in a freezer, it changes into ice, right? Yes, this process is known as freezing. Here water forms ice upon freezing. Next change of state, that is expansion and contraction of matter. First we'll see what do you mean by expansion. Here, when we heat a substance, the molecules which present in that substance starts to vibrate. Due to this, what will happen? The intermolecular space between the molecules increases and the substance expands. Yes, children, here you just listen carefully. Here you can see when a substance heated, the molecules which is present in the substance get vibrate. So that what will happen? In the second video, you can observe the space between the molecules will increases. So that what will happen? Since the intermolecular space between the molecule increases, the size of that substance will get expand. That is, the size of that substance increases. So this process is known as expansion. Yes, expansion is the increase in size of matter on heating. Yes, when a substance on heated, the molecules which is present on that substance starts to vibrate. Due to this, the intermolecular space between the molecules increases. Due to that, size of the substance also increases. This process is known as expansion. For an example, tight metal lid of a jar can be opened easily by dipping it into warm water or into hot water. This happens because hot water causes the lid to expand little, so it can opens out easily. On other hand, when a substance is cooled, the movement of particles slows down, thus each particle takes up the movement of molecules slows down. Due to this, the intermolecular space between the molecules decreases and the substance contracts. This process is known as contraction. Here, contraction is the decrease in size of matter on cooling. The best example is, you have seen during summer the electric wires between electric poles hang loose. That is due to expansion. So that the length of the wire increases and it hangs to the electric poles. But during winter, if you observe, the electric wires do not hang loose between the electric poles because where contraction happens. This is the best example for expansion and contraction of matter. Now children, let us move to the next concept, that changes around us. As you know, changes that occur all around us, like cooking of food, drying of clothes, growing of trees, etc. Right? So these changes can either be physical change or chemical change. A substance that can be reversed is called physical change, which means these are the changes which happens temporarily and it can be reversed. Let us try to understand through an examples. Here you can see these are the three different examples. Yes, that is evaporation of water, ice melting and wax melting, right? If you observe here you can see a change of matters, right? In the first case, that is evaporation of water, where you can see water changes into water vapor. And in the second case, ice cubes are changes into water. And also in the third case, the candles are melting into wax, right? In all these cases, you can see the physical change, that is physical appearance of the substances. Right? Yes. Also, these are all temporary change and we can be reverse this process. For an example, you know, when ice cubes taken out of the freezer for some times, it will change into water. Again, by cooling that water for some times, will change into ice cubes, right? So here we can see the reverse process. So this is known as physical change, where we can find the changes in physical appearance of the substances. Then what happens in the case of chemical change? Chemical changes are permanent change of a substance that cannot paper and formation of curd from milk and cooking of food. In these cases, you can find substances are getting permanent change and it cannot be reversed. For an example, when you burns the paper, you can see there is a form of new substance that is nothing but ash, where paper is changes into ash. But do you think can we make a reverse process of this? Can we get a paper from the ash? No, it's impossible, right? So these are all the permanent change that cannot be reversed. Same thing happens in the case of making curd from the milk. We can make a curd using milk, but we cannot make a milk using curd, right? Yes, these are all the examples of chemical change. And you have to keep in mind that in physical changes, no new substance is formed, but in chemical changes, new substances are formed. As children.
Then children, I hope you all have understood today's class. Yes, what are the concepts we studied? We studied how the arrangements of molecules in matter and how solids, liquids and gases dissolves in water and changes of state and physical and chemical changes that happens in the different state of matter, right? Yes. Okay, children. Then regarding notes, I'll send you the notes through Word document. Fine. Before writing the notes, you have to read the text twice or thrice. Otherwise, you cannot understand anything. So, children, before writing the notes, read the text and try to understand it. Later on, you can finish the notes. Fine.